This weekend at UFC London, we're going to be putting a bet on a little fighter called Aspinall. Stick around and we'll tell you how to make some money.
UFC London, Alexander Volkov versus Tom Aspinall. I'm Chris from EquitySportsAnalytics.com, and I'm back to deliver you some best bets that are going to earn you some money this Saturday. We're 12-3 on our last 4 videos. We've earned 15.32 units in those videos. So our stock's high. It's time to buy in. So buy high and sell low. No, that's terrible economic advice. Don't listen to that. We want to buy low and sell high. So what we need to do is make sure that I have a bunch of losing videos in a row, and then make sure you follow everything I say. For now, don't do anything I say on this video. It would be bad economic practice. Starting, we're going to start with Corey McKenna versus Elise Reed. This is our best bet for the week. Corey McKenna is a grappler and a jiu-jitsu practitioner. She's 22 years old. One of the things that sold this for us is that she took a year and 4 months off since her last fight, which means when a young fighter does that, it means they're improving, they're working on their game, they're coming back. If they fight month to month, it means that they're just trying to maintain shape, cut weight, and they're not trying to improve. This is a good spot for McKenna to evolve. Even if she comes in here at what she used to be a year and 4 months ago, she's still going to win, but she should be value on top of the price that she already is. You can get her at 1.40 at most of the books. We gave her out at 1.44, but it's moved since then. Lay 3.75 units to win 1.5. I know that this is backing up a Brinks truck, basically, and putting it all on McKenna, but we believe in her that she's in a great situation. She's also at home here, and this is a huge ask for Elise Reed to come in here after getting starched by Sijara Eubanks, to have the composure to deal with Corey McKenna and her solid, well-rounded MMA game. Next fight we have actually our parlay of the week. We have 4 best bets for you this week. We got our parlay number 2 here. So Mokaev is facing Cody Durden. That's the first leg of the parlay. Cody Durden basically said a very rude thing last time. He beat a Chinese fighter and told the Chinese fighter he can go home to where he came from. I think the UFC is punishing him. Mokaev is a phenom. He's a guy who is well-rounded everywhere. His grappling, his striking. He's just an absolute He's an absolute phenom, and he's a hype train, and so he should starch Cody Durden. It's a great matchup for him. That's one leg of the parlay. Ilia Topuria is the other leg against Jai Herbert. These are also the 2 that the books are wincing when pros are betting. They're the 2 that move the most when big bets by pros are put in there. We are laying 3.22 units to win 2. You may have to lay more by the time this video comes out because these lines are moving quick. Next fight, we have Molly Meatball McCann against Luana Carolina. McCann you can get her at most of the books 1.76. This is an interesting fight because this is likely to go to decision. This is going to be a very close fight. Carolina is probably technically the better fighter, and if this was a neutral site fight, we would probably be siding slightly with her, 52% or so. She's probably a slightly better fighter. McCann is a more emotional fighter, and she can sometimes sway a fight in her favor because she just doesn't give up. She's got heart for days, and she's got a great chin. Carolina is more technical, but we think that, again, her composure is not going to be very good here in London. The crowd is going to be going nuts for Molly McCann. Molly McCann in her last fight was yelling and screaming, and it was a pro crowd for her in the UFC Apex, which seats, I believe, a few hundred people. This is going to be 20,000 plus in this London arena, and so these people are going to be going bonkers. First fight back with actual with actual fans, so the fans are just going to be rabid, and there's a lot of nationalism going on there in the UK. Also, the judges; these are just appointed officials from government. Okay, so these judges, everybody thinks that they're impartial. I mean, we probably don't think that because MMA judging is well known to be awful. But I don't think there's fixes involved. It's just that judges are petty, and they have petty little biases and little agendas that they have, and these officials are going to want to give this fight to McCann. If this Luana Carolina is going to have to either finish inside the distance, which we figure she has about a 12% chance of doing, or win this by obvious decision where she dominates this fight. If this fight is at all swayable, where they can say McCann landed a good shot in the second round maybe, or got a takedown versus a bunch of strikes for Carolina, you better bet that these judges are going to give this to McCann. We think McCann's going to win this about 62 to 65% of the time. You're getting implied odds that she only has to win it about 56% of the time. Take McCann to win 1.5 units. You're going to have to lay somewhere around 2 units right there to win 1.5. Last but not least, we have Alexander Volkov versus Tom Aspinall. So, what a great fight this is. You're getting sort of almost a pay-per-view headliner fight for this London fight. Again, these are going to be rabid fans. The over-under is set at 3.5, which is interesting. So they're saying that if you extrapolate that to the full fight, they're saying that there is there's implied odds of 38% that this fight, 42%, that this fight is going to decision. That's what the casinos think, 42%. So again, we covered that with Meatball McCann. If this fight is close, if there's robability to it, that Tom Aspinall maybe 40% of the domination, Volkov 60%. I think Volkov is going to have to win this fight 65 to 70% in terms of the striking proficiency and the grappling proficiency to win. If it's anywhere close, if it's 60-40 Volkov, they're going to give it to Aspinall, especially the Russian. Unfortunately, the way the world is working these days, they're just not going to give any favors to the Russian fighter, the judges. So obviously Tom Aspinall can win this fight. We think it's 50-50 anyway. Okay, so Aspinall, his only downside here is sometimes it's a disadvantage to fight at home. You can get you get this adrenaline dump, the nerves. Derek Lewis talked about it. There's only a few fighters. We think Paddy Pimblett on this card will be fine because he has that sort of attitude. Conor McGregor was very good at fighting with a lot of pressure and fighting with home fans, but most fighters actually don't perform well. The judges perform well for them, but the fighters don't. So Tom Aspinall could have an adrenaline dump in the second, third, fourth, fifth round, and Volkov could knock him out. Obviously, Aspinall's live to get that finish in the first or second round, but we think the vast majority of the time, 60 plus percent of the time, Aspinall's going to win this either by finish or get a judge's decision. And you're getting almost pick'em odds. We gave it out to our clients at 1.91, but now I think it's been bet down to 1.83, 1.80 at a lot of the books. So get on Aspinall fast if you're on him. You can lay 1.65 units to win 1.5 if you get him at 1.91, but you probably have to lay more than that. Otherwise, this is going to be an amazing card. It's almost pay-per-view worthy. I'm going to enjoy it. And always remember that friends don't let friends gamble without math. We will see you next week.